So I have the spray gun all hooked up. I've worked out the kinks. It's little adjustments that you make. And now let me bring you over and just show you some of the basics about this tool. Not very complicated. But you want to know how to use it before the day of your paint project. If you have a problem with this thing, even if it's brand new, it's going to take you several hours to resolve. So you really want to take the time to find out how to do this before you get to paint day. Okay, so we have our paint inside. It's cut down by about 10% with water. And all of our pieces are connected properly. You see this? This controls the fan. How it comes out. Does it come out this way or this way? And so when you're spraying these horizontal pieces of trim, would you want your spray pattern, please come in close, to be like this? Or would you much rather prefer it like this? Like this? Which is this horizontal. Obviously, this is the way you want it. By the way, did you see how little paint we wasted just by going back and forth? Well, that's the whole idea with the HVLP sprayer. It's a lot of volume and it's low pressure. Okay, so with everything masked off, now I have a mask, I just don't have it on for the sake of this part of the video. Okay, you can bring them in. I want to show them. Now, when you're using the sprayer, it matters how you hold it. Do you see how the tool is plumb in my hand? It's straight. It's not like that. It's not like that. This is important because the angle at which you spray your paint actually matters. You see the contours in this? Do you see this part? If you're holding your paint sprayer gun like this, you're not going to get this part very effectively, right? So that's why it matters how you hold the paint gun. So for this, I'm going to spray above it, then I'm going to come down level, and then I'm going to spray like that. So this particular chair rail will require 3 angular positions of my handheld. If you don't do this right, you're going to see shadows. And I only tell you so that you benefit from the mistakes of a guy that I know really well who messed this up really bad. Okay, so you spread your legs, you're ready. Okay, bring them in close. Try to show them the richness of this application. Just show them how nice and full the application is just on 1 or 2 passes. Now remember, the paint is extremely good stuff. Let's show them again. Okay, so we want a wide range, nothing in the way. Now I go down for my third angle. Okay. While I'm spraying, I'm not moving my wrist. This is one other mechanical thing that we have to discuss. The distance from the nozzle orifice and the material you're spraying should be constant. It should remain the same throughout the spray job. So if you start at 12 inches away, you want to continue 12 inches away. Because if you go closer in some areas and further in others, it's going to result in a differential in appearance. You'll see the difference. It looks different here. Well, that's because you were 3 inches closer than 3 inches away. So you want to stay consistently equally distant on all parts of it, if you can. Secondly, would you agree, come close, that if I watch this, do you think that the paint here is going to look like the paint here? Let me do it again. So we got three sections, the right, the middle, and the left. When all is said and done, and you have your furniture in place, if you should change the angle of your spray pattern, which essentially changes the distance from your wall to the nozzle, you will change the appearance of the layout. Let me show you why. The distance between the wall and the nozzle right now is 10 inches. But when I do this, and I'm spraying here, the distance increases by about 3 inches. And so you don't want to be doing this, and you don't want to be doing that, because you're changing the distance at which the paint leaves the gun and touches the wall. For that reason, you want to do your application in the following manner. I always kiss the machine because I love it. Okay, let's go. Think about the car wash. Not exactly, but that's what we're looking to do. I will say this. When you get to the end of the length of your arm, how far it can go, pull up. We're going to feather it in. Pull up. You don't want a hard finish. There's a lot to learn here. If you look at my wrist, it's not turning. My legs are moving away when I come to the end because I don't want this to build up a ridge, so my body moves away a little. But I'm going to overlap when I come over here. I'm going to overlap it. So that won't matter that I'm pulling away. But if I do this, all of this is going to be 10 inches away, 11 inches away, 13 inches away. It's not going to look as good as it should when you go to invest in a machine like this. Okay, so does everybody understand? let's cover the issue with the edge one more time. If I follow the rule, I'm going to have a buildup, am I not? When I come here, if I stay here for a half a second and then move on, come back here, another half of a second, go over here, come back here another half of a second, you're going to have a lap mark. So there's a subtlety while you're doing this, and that is to simply be aware of the issue, pull away, don't change the angle, pull away, because the sprayer will apply it a little more in a more dissipated fashion. It won't be so concentrated, and you'll get away with it in the end. You have to stop somewhere as you're moving along. You can't go all the way. You could walk with this theoretically, but you don't have to. So you simply, when you get to the point at which your section is, whatever it is, 50 inches, you just want to pull away a little. It's called feathering it out. We do it when we compound, finish sheetrock, paint, trim with this paint. We feather it. I'm mixing my paint. I don't want it breaking down in there. Okay, so I start my trim there, and I'm moving this way, right? But just like the brush, we're gonna finish in this direction, or this direction. Wherever you begin, however you begin, is how you're going to end. When I start, I'm starting away from the trim, and I gradually bring my sprayer close to the trim. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that, because I got to build up now. I'm starting at a distance. I'm feathering it in. I'm gradually bringing it close. Now, the reason why we're using the HVLP sprayer is that you can see, consider it like a magic marker. Picture the difference between using a can of spray paint. When I was a child, people would write on the subways with cans of spray paint. And when I became a police officer, a veteran told me, leave them alone. They are learning how to write. So, but it was actually criminal mischief. But anyway, so picture the difference between spraying with a can of spray paint, your name, Bob. Now picture writing the name Bob with a magic marker, one of the big ones. That's what you're doing when you're making a decision on concentrating your paint into a small section, like this chair and this trim here. You're concentrating it because you don't want it all over the place like the can of spray paint. You can continue to do more searches, see what the machine, you may get the wrong sprayer. If you have a picket fence with a lot of openings, you don't want to be going ahead using an airless sprayer like a Graco 395. You want to use the HVLP because it directs the paint to specific areas. I hope I explained that well enough. Any more on the mechanical? Let's show them the results. Please start here and walk backwards with your camera, showing them that beautiful result that we get from the HVLP sprayer. Now, not only is it the sprayer and the correct tip, but let's give credit to that paint. This is urethane enamel by Sherwin-Williams. I don't work for them, and I don't like advertising for them. I'm doing it for my viewers who are do-it-yourselfers who want good results. Let's face it, you hire somebody and they come in and they do a crap job and then they hand you a bill. So If you want to know how to do this, these are the products that I'm using. And I'm just going to continue spraying my white, and then we'll worry about the blue tomorrow. Because tomorrow I can put tape on this paint. And I have enough white to keep me busy for the rest of the workday. Tomorrow's another day. We'll mask these areas, which is not a small task, but if you want it perfect, that's what you got to do. People put picture frame. This is wainscoting, wainscoting. That's what they do, and you got to paint it. It's time consuming, but if you want to do it with a brush, you can probably brush it quicker. That's an option too. And then you're going to have to tape it to get the blue on. Okay? I think that's going to cover the video as far as spraying. I'll do the trim with you, and then I'll publish the video. I'll see you on the next frame.